Hello, everybody. Welcome to the live. My name's Crystal. My channel is Real Lady Electrician, and I am a retired electrician. Sorry. I know you're not supposed to do that at the beginning of the video, but hi, Joe. I'm having some coffee, some Jave, and since it has milk in it, it makes me a little congested. How are you doing today, Joe? I know I should be drinking it, but I didn't make coffee today. And my allergies are going crazy. I think I told you last week I was going to help that's why I missed last week. I've been helping my sister with her get everything done in her new business. And that place is so dusty. Oh, okay. After a few days, it'll probably get better then. I hope you're resting. Yeah, so my sister's starting a new business. I took last week off. I helped her move into her business. It'll probably be better Friday. Oh, that's good. Not too far away. That's good. And then it'll give you a lot to relief, hopefully. Okay, so my sister's business, we painted, we cleaned, and we had to clean the floor real good. Yeah, that's the plan. Let's see. We painted the concrete floor, so we had to clean it real good. It took I took Sunday off, Monday, Tuesday. So it's been about 5 days, 6 days, and I am really sore. I've been using my patches, my Voltaren, my Aleve, everything I can think of. But I told her I'm not available today because of my live, and then Thursday and Friday because those are my husband's days off. And I was with her on his days off all week last week, so he was a little bit whiny about that. You know how sometimes men can get. I don't know if Zach's here. So I'm pretty worn out. But I am sure I am not. My pain is muscle soreness. It's not like my normal knee pain. I still have that, but everything else that hurts is muscle soreness. It's going to go away. It's not, like the knee pain. It's not like the knee pain or sharp shooting pains. It's not, my body is just sore from the activity. And I sat down a lot. I took my chair, but it was still a lot more activity than I'm used to as well. Have you been doing anything lately, Joe? Up to any other than your procedure, any surgeries or not surgeries, any like activities, anything like that going on? I'm gonna hook onto. Oh, I see. There's somebody else here. I'm gonna go to YouTube and get on there. So it looks like there are more of us here. Let's see. Me, view, live. There I am. And I just put a basic live on StreamYard because I know we're going to talk about my ACA. I've been waiting for the procedure for a long time. Yeah. Live on StreamYard 19 minutes ago. Isn't this today's? No, it must have been a different one. Not doing much. Okay, I already read that. So there I am. Must have been you turn me down. Okay. So with all the dust, all the paint fumes, all the we epoxied the floor and just regular allergies. I took a nap before I started the live. That's why I have the Javi instead of actual coffee. But this is still good. This is my mocha Javi. Let's see. So I'm resting today, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. And then but I'll be back to help her on Saturday and Sunday. So yeah. And I didn't put this out all over except for the chat because of the content is going to be about me and I didn't really want all kind of people showing up that I don't know. So yeah, and I thought also during this time I'll write some questions down that anyone has about me or about the treatment or that I went through and things like that. But it looks like it's just me and you, Joe. So I'm going to go ahead and start talking about my ACA journey. So this is going to be several episodes because it starts from childhood. You know how we always say hindsight's 2020? Yeah. But you look back and then you're like, you didn't know what was going on at the time. But now that you look back, now you have a different kind of outlook about it or, different understanding of it as you get older, things like that. So, yeah. So when I was young, my parents both drank. It was in the 70s. I was born in 69. So in the 70s. And then we would have relatives over, aunts and uncles, and they would play cards and drink and just smoke cigarettes. I couldn't stand the cigarette smoke, but so there was always drinking in my youth. So I started drinking fairly young. My mom and dad started a business training. What were they? Training horses, but race horses that you ride on the cart and you race. So they did that for quite a few years, but we were kind of unattended because I was like 11 or 12 or, I was old enough to help with the kids. And it was there were 4 of us total. So, and I was the oldest. So I'm sure plenty of oldest children out there have babysat. I babysat and stuff. So there's always alcohol in my house. So the curious kids, we got into it, and then it was always there. We got into it. And my dad would buy it by cases and cases of beer everywhere. So when he could find a good deal, he would buy pallets of the beer that just said, it was a white can, it just said beer on it. And these are humorous to me. These aren't bad things. These are just things that at the time we didn't know any better, and I didn't really equate any of that to my dad being an alcoholic because it wasn't really spoke about. And his entire family, they all drank. He would fight they would drink and then they would go out in the yard and he would fight with his brothers all the time. And but it was always there. And I don't think I'm different from many other people unless, you were raised in a very strict family. Right. So this isn't a blame game. This is just information. And he was a happy person. He didn't beat us or yell at us. Well, of course he yelled at us like a dad, but I think the worst perpetrators were our uncles and aunts would say things like, you'd be pretty if you were skinnier. You know what I mean? My mom never did that, and neither did my dad that I remember. So, um, neither parent was very affectionate, and so we were used to that. We still knew they loved us, but we weren't like uh huggy, kissy family. And I still think that was normal because I grew up in a house, or I had a friend who I spent a lot of time with, and her family wasn't demonstrative like that either. Now, they didn't drink all the time like my dad, but so I knew that was different. But I don't think a lot of people back then were very, but that could be me. But we were, that was just how we were raised. I'm not a hugger. I've tried to be a hugger. I cringe. It just makes me uncomfortable. I just don't. And that could be part of my mental health issues, you know. My therapist and we only delve into major issues when they come up. I'm not going all the way back to find out in my childhood why I don't really like to hug people. I don't know. And so I know that touch is a very big deal to me. And I don't like people I don't know to touch me. So, and it's not I don't believe it's a trauma. So I just think it's like we were raised that way, and it just makes me uncomfortable. So, yeah, so I thought we had a pretty good upbringing. Um, my little brother does not feel that way. I have two sisters, and my one sister and my mom would always go at it. Um, I was more like my dad. We wouldn't argue. I wouldn't argue with my parents, but my one sister would argue with my mother all the time. And then my little sister, my brother's the youngest, so middle sister, then the little sister, she was quiet, and she would, she tried to be a good kid, and um, her and my middle sister were very close, so they both kind of were the middle child. So even if they don't realize, they do realize it. My mom doesn't, but they were both like the middle child. I wasn't raised on touch. Shockingly, I went the extreme other way. I really want to hug and touch. Yeah, I think it's just, I don't know. It just depends, right? And I think some of us do that. We either do the same thing our parents did, or we do the opposite. So, yeah, because my cousins are very touchy-feely, and she always wants to give me a hug. She knows I can't stand it. She'll say, "I know you can't stand it. I'm coming to give you a hug." I'll be like, "Oh, God." I see her like once in a millennium, and she must hug me when she sees me. But yeah, I understand that too, Joe. Oh, here's little badness. He's in trouble. He escaped the other day. You're a bad boy. He escaped. The kitten busted out, escaped, and then he followed, of course, because he wants to be outside. But yeah, but I know that that's a possibility as well, because my youngest sister, they had kids when they were young. Both my sisters, they were about 16, 15, 16, and my youngest sister is all about kissing and hugging those kids, and I'm like, and she does that with my mom too, and I'm like, no, I don't. You don't need to. No, definitely don't kiss me. That grosses me out even more. My grandma used to try to do that. I'm like, when I was 4 and 5 and 12 and 13, you never did that. Now you want to kiss me? No, no. I didn't understand the change, I guess. And no, it just irritated me. Oh, look he's being so bad. Quit, quit. You're on punishment. Is that why you're being bad? Yeah. So I know it can go either way, Joe. You're so cute. He's so cute, and he knows it. Cute and bad. You're still on my bad list. You really are. They went out. We had storms yesterday in Michigan. Um, Tuesday morning, bad storms. And then, so they escape out into the rain. So the good news is they weren't outside for very long. But when they did come in, they were soaked to the bone. Two soaked kitty cats. and then I had to go help my sister. So I haven't seen them, so I'm still mad with them, but they're like, "Why are you still mad? That was all yesterday. We're over it." But he knows I'm mad because he's using his claws and he's being kind of aggressive. Not normal. Like when I just pet him. Anyways, but yeah. Where is Miss Shelley? I would like to hear how she was raised and what she does as well. Because she's around my age too. So that would be very interesting. Miss Shelley, not here. Huh. And so I considered my childhood normal. Oh, okay, thanks, Joe. Um, it was like I said, sometimes there were fights. My dad and his brothers would fight. My aunts could be, I think I had one nice aunt and there were four women. He had four sisters, and one of them, hey Jen, how are you doing today, Jen? We're talking about my ACA journey, and I went all the way back to my childhood. Hey, Brandy, how are you doing? So, you guys, I was wondering, and I was just talking with Joe about this. Were you raised in a touchy feely family, like hugs all the time and kisses and, all that? Because I was not. And we just touched on that a little bit because, like, my cousins, they're very huggy and touchy. Hugs, kinda. I was not, I was not. We knew they loved us. I did my homework. I did my chores. We had Christmas and got presents. My dad worked a lot. I hardly ever saw him. So um, my mom wasn't like that either. Neither was my grandma. And I was telling Joe, she got older, my grandma did. Then she wanted to hug and kiss everybody. And I said, keep your lips all away from me. And I know it may have hurt her feelings, but she understood. Um, I said, I love you, Grandma, but you didn't raise me like that. Why you expect me? Rough day, had a new infusion Monday, and my body is having a difficult time adjusting. And my soul is still broken with the loss of my fur babies. Yes. Yes. So you're dealing with a double right now. You've got your pain and your grief. So I hope that you're doing okay. And anything you need, reach out to us. Anybody you want to talk to. If you just want to post pictures of your fur babies, that would be awesome too, if that would help. We love that in our chat. Brandy says, my uncle would give me side hugs and then, oh, or he always blamed it on me as a joke when I was a kid. LOL. That's funny. Yeah. There's always that funny uncle. And yeah, I didn't really have a funny uncle though, did I? No. Nope. Um but yeah, so there were some personalities in my family and not always friendly, not always loving, but mom and dad, we knew they loved us, we loved them. Uh, Grandparents, I was real close to my grandma, but my grandpa was a grumpy old man, and we'll talk about him a little later. And then my dad's parents were just way older, and he came from Corbin, Kentucky. That's where he was born. And so they were very southern and just, not real friendly. My mom's side was very affectionate, and my stepdad was violent, and his family has never hugged or touched me. My bio dad is affectionate, but didn't meet him till 13 years old. Wow, that's definitely some complicated stuff. Because I was telling Joe how, like, I wasn't raised that way. So now I'm not a hugging person. I don't run up to people I know and hug them, or people I don't know and hug them. You see people on TV that don't really know each other and they hug each other, like celebrities or reality shows and stuff. Like, you can't stand that person. Why are you hugging that person? But so are you a more affectionate now person, or are you um less likely to hug someone you haven't seen in a long time? Because I was talking about I have cousins that we were close to when we were growing up, and they love to hug you, and I'm like, oh gosh, it just makes me uncomfortable. And I think I'm just a very sensitive to touch in any way. And I don't remember anything traumatic. It depends on the person the hug is directed to. Okay, Jen. And that is reasonable. Because what my mom makes, she jokes how I won't hug her. But I always tell her I love you. And then for her birthday and Mother's Day, which is Sunday, I'll say, Mom, I'm going to hug you now. Is that okay? Because I think you should get permission to hug people. And that's just me. And like I said, I don't remember any trauma, but that doesn't mean there wasn't any. I said, I'm going to hug you now. So I just want to make sure that it's okay. And she laughs and she's like, yes, because I don't even think you should make your kids hug people. I don't think you should make them. I think if they want to, they can. Um, to see him and seen him days later than he passed. Let's see. My dad was out of my life. Most of it just got to see him 2 years ago. Yeah, because my uncle, his bro, called me on my birthday and told me he wasn't well. I remember when you went to the hospital and visited him and everything. It's very much a trust thing. But see, I trust my mom. I would trust her with my life. But I don't want her hugging me or trying to kiss me on a cheek or whatever. Um, I always say I'm a hugger. Is that okay? Yes, you are. And I like that you say that because it's good to warn people. Because I'll tell you what I've done before, and this is just a reaction. I worked at a big steel mill, and so sometimes people would meet you. They could be from down south or just a friendly person. They'd want to hug you. And so I would do this, like try to, avoid the hug. And I say, well, I'm not really a hugger. So it's good to say that you are a hugger so that people know. So Brandy is a hugger too. And Jen said it's conditional. It depends on who it is. All right. Here's a little badness. He's in trouble, you guys. He broke out yesterday. Broke out in the rainstorm. He's easier to get in than the kitten, though. The kitten is still crazy. The kitten broke out first because that's his mission in life is to get out of the house. I don't know why. The house is nice. He gets treated well. Yeah, he's adorable. But he's in trouble. Yep, he broke out in the rainstorm. I didn't feel bad for him either, so he was soaked. Like I've never seen him that soaked before. So I got him in the house, both the cats, and then I had to go. Because the reason I wasn't live last week is because I've been helping my sister move into her new business. So, and that's why my throat's a little scratchy and stuff, because of the kitten wants to explore. He's not like these guys normally. Before the kitten came, they're very chill. They're very, they would go out into the kitten house. I didn't have to worry. The catio, they'd go hang out, come in and out at leisurely whenever. Now the kitten, he comes and he must escape the catio always, every time he can. So I tried to lock him in, and he hi Sylvia, how are you doing? It's so good to see you. And so he must get out. He's broken the screen. The screen is broken. I have to get a new screen because he pushes on it. And what he did just a few days ago was pushed on the middle and then escaped out. It came out and then he escaped out the screen. I'm like, man, he just will not stop trying. He will not stop trying. And so when it's raining, it's easy to get him. He'll stay under the we have a what's that called, a carport, and he'll stay under there. But this guy, you know where this guy runs to when he gets out? Tell everybody I run into the field because I am bad. Use chicken wire, not screen. It's more sturdy. I'm glad, Sylvia, that you're doing well. So we're just talking about my childhood right now. And as it relates to my ACA journey, my adult children of alcoholics journey. And this guy just pops in whenever he feels like it so he can show everybody how cute he is. Holding him like a baby. He can get heavy. No scratches. So, is everything going well for you, Sylvia? You feeling pretty good? How's your mental health? You can just put it in the chat. How would I use chicken wire? It's more sturdy, and put it in the window. So if you want to DM me and give me some ideas, because I would love to do something that will keep the kitten from escaping. So there's like an inch and a half gap between the house and the catio. Oh no, you want to play. So that little, he's skinny. He's long and skinny. His legs are only about yay big. And he'll be a year old. I think he's a year old already in May here. And so that was the first thing he did. So I tried to block that little gap. And it was working really good. It was very ugly, though. I had taken a piece of foam, that memory foam. I had one of those memory foam bed covers that we were getting rid of. Use heavy-duty staples to hold up the chicken wire. Okay. That might be what I'm going to have to do then. It's just the one window. Thank you, Sylvia. I'm doing pretty good. You guys are awesome, my friends in the chat. So friendly and welcoming. And I love being here too with all you guys as well. Since it's about me, I mean, because I will spout how much I love my mom and I love to do things with her, and so, but I just don't want her hugging me. I like my personal space. Now, and this is something I think a lot of people are thinking about now is, would you be on the spectrum? If you were a child now, would you be on the autism spectrum? Because the spectrum is wide. And so I just don't like to be touched. It could be something like that. I am not diagnosed. And not a good day. A lot of crying for no reason. I guess hormones. Tired of all the aches and pains. Right, Sylvia, are you having a lot of changes in weather too? The pressure's going up and down, and it's causing a lot of pain for everybody. Spring is beautiful, but sometimes the weather can really, those of us that have pain issues already, it can just make them worse. Let's see. So, but I'm glad you're here today. I hope we can, help you feel a little bit better. This month, not good for me every year. This month, I lost my mom. Lost her 25th and 26th is my twin girls. Oh, lost her on the 25th, and the 26th is your twin girl's birthday. Yeah, right, Sylvia? It's just, it rains, and then in Michigan, I don't remember what state you're in, but we're 70 degrees, and then the next day we're 50. And then we're 80 degrees, and the next day we're 60, or you know what I mean? And that pressure drop is just, and I know Joe's been having a lot of trouble with it. And I think Shelly lives in Michigan. She has too. It's just like, it's crazy how it affects your bones and your joints and things. Brandy says, my daughter says I'm autistic too. Do you have a symptom or anything that you have, Brandy, that makes her think that? Because, like I said, I don't really like to be touched. Hey, Jen, I have ADHD and have CPTSD. That's complicated PTSD for so much trauma. Otherwise, I don't think I would be on the spectrum. My hubs, on the other hand, most definitely would be. He admits it too. Yeah, I think about it sometimes because I have never when I was even in school for my electrical stuff and math and things, the way that I would always get the right answer, but I would never do it the same way as the teacher. And so sometimes they would be like, well, that's not correct because you didn't do it this way. And I'm like, okay. So I just had to readjust my thinking. But um, yeah, even when I was working as an electronics technician or an electrician, I never thought like the other people did. I just thought because I was a girl and they were guys. But now I think maybe I just don't think like a normal person. Lost my mom another's day 2 years. Oh, Mother's Day and birthday is on the 25th. My daughter graduation is on the 29th. I guess all the stress. That is a lot. That is a lot. Yeah. Yeah. And that's very soon. I mean, it's just been a couple years since your mom has passed. So, like we say here, grieve as long as you need to grieve, do what you need to do, and there is no time limit. No time limit. You take all the time you need. And you may have a more supportive family, but if anybody says get over it, you can either smack them, shoot them. Well, don't shoot them because we don't want you to go to jail. But there are many things you can do to that person that would be acceptable in our group, in our chat group here. Let's see. So Jen's hubs, yeah. Now my husband, I don't think he would be. He's more normal than I am. Because he always gives me a look when I do something weird, and then I go, but you married me, so She is going on. I talk like a small kid a lot, and I carry a security blanket that I call my binky. Always been this way. That's very interesting, Brandy. It's very interesting. Yeah. So if it's true, I've enjoyed my life, but I'm really, and then I went to a museum once. I think it was in Las Vegas. I went to the Star Trek museum, and the museum, the people giving us the tour, she goes, now, is there anybody here who has to touch everything they see? And I was like, yeah, me. Because when I'm in the store, if we go through the toys, I'm touching everything. I just want to hear it or feel it or, and if we're going through a museum, I will touch a lot of stuff if I'm allowed. So she said, you're not able to touch the artifacts. And I was like, okay. I put my hands in my pockets and I did my best. I think I might have almost touched something, but it's been a long time ago, so I learned my lesson. I helped on sister move and declutter her house. Oh, and help move my other sister and niece into a home in the last few weeks. Oh, yes, Sylvia. My sister just moved into a business, and even if we're restricted, just the helping that we don't normally do, I'm sore from head to toe, so I can only imagine you helped 2 sisters move. So I'm sure you're having the same muscle aches and pains plus any joint issues that you already have going on. So I totally understand why you're not feeling well. I might sit on the couch and cry myself. Yeah. Yeah. And then you help for a few days or whatever. Like I said, it was 5 days. I'm going to pay for it for probably the next 2 weeks. I'm going to have to get the soreness out and, um, that kind of stuff. Oh, by the way, I don't know if you all know Michelle from A Day in... Yes, I do. Needs all the good vibes and prayers for her brother that she and her son live with. Oh my gosh. Yes. Yes. He died by suicide. Oh, man. She's already having such a hard time with her health. That is so sad. Are you real close with her, Jen? Make sure she knows that we're here for her if she needs anything. I don't think she's in the chat, but if she felt like it and wanted to be in it, that would be fine as well. I'm same way. I always have to press all the buttons. Yes, when at the stores. Yes, and squeeze the fluffies. Yeah. I love pushing all the toy buttons in the store. Me too, Jen. I can't. Now, if there's a sign, don't touch it. Oh, especially if there's glass in front of it, that's a no-brainer. But if there isn't and they have some new pretty pink fluffies, I'm going to squeeze them. But I don't like to squeeze people. What is wrong with me? Made me mad they wouldn't help each other. We could have worked together to get everything moved. Oh, yeah. Well, that's a stress on you too. Like you said, you got graduation coming up, and if they're not getting along, you know, yeah. I am in her RBSG collab group. Okay, just let her know that we're all praying for her and that I'm really sorry that she's having to go through that. And you know, I don't really communicate with her very much. She used to be on, was it Facebook or Instagram? But I don't see her. I don't go on YouTube very much at all anymore. So, oh, you're on the Instagram collab, right? The RBSG collab on Instagram. So I see her sometimes there, but I don't think I have her personal Instagram. But I know who she is. And I've chatted with her and she's been in lives before with me and Jamie. So I know her through Jamie, I guess. Yeah, on IG. Yeah, I've seen the photos. Yeah. hmm Yeah, I'm mostly on Instagram and then a little bit on YouTube, but not so much. No, a little bit on Facebook, but not so much on YouTube anymore. um, okay. I'm not a hugger. Also, hugging some people makes my skin crawl. If I know you well, it's okay. I am exactly like that, Sylvia. I wasn't raised that way. We were talking earlier. Um, and sometimes if you're not raised that way, that's how you are. But if you are raised that way, then sometimes you still want the affection. Like we were talking, Joe said she's a big time hugger, but she wasn't raised as a hugger. I am not a hugger, and yeah, and I'm an advocate for don't make your children hug me because people be like I have a step granddaughter, and her mom would be like, hug Nana. And I'm like, she doesn't have to if she doesn't want to. I don't want her to feel like she has to. She hugs me now. She's in 16. So, oh no, she's going to be 18. So she'll hug me now, but she's old enough to know and she's not being forced. I don't like my parents used to do that to us, and I just never cared for it, I guess. It was never traumatic. I'm just like, why do I need to hug somebody I don't even know? That's your friend, not my friend. Hug Auntie so and so, and I don't think you should make your kids do that. That's me. And I'll say even when the kids come, I'll say, you don't have to, sweetie. It's okay. You don't have to hug me. It's all right. I don't know you. You don't know me. It's okay. You know, I don't want them to feel pressured, because then if they feel pressured, maybe they grow up like me and maybe they're not. I think it's good to be a hugger. I wish I could be, you know, because that's good for your mental health as well, the oxytocin and things like that. Jen says, I'm crazy affectionate with my husband, but not others. Me too. Yeah, yeah. Um, he's the only person I actually really hug. Like I said, I'll hug my mom on her birthday and stuff just so she feels better, but I'm not a hugger. And I say the same thing to her I said to my grandma. You weren't like this when I was growing up. Now you're older and you want me to be like this. So I need you to understand that it's okay that you want to hug me, but you need to understand when I don't feel like it, I'm not going to want to hug you. And so she understands that much of it, but I know sometimes it hurts her feelings. So they make a joke of it. I'm not going to hug you because I know you don't want to be hugged. And I'll go, that is correct. Thank you. We can joke about it. I don't want any drama. I don't want you chasing me around the house to give me a hug. Because I will football take somebody down, even with my bad knees. Don't mess with me. But yeah, he really is the only person I'm affectionate with. And then, of course, when Lene was a baby and we were help raising her, I was with her too. Um, but like once they get old enough to walk and go to the bathroom and stuff, I'd rather take them shopping than, snuggle. My sister would take them shopping. Brittany says, come on. But yeah, he's really the only person that I am affectionate with. And I just wasn't raised that way. But it's okay. I think it's healthy to be someone who likes to hug people. I think it can be dangerous if you hug just everybody you see. That's a little overkill, but I think, Joe, that's very healthy. I wish I could be like that. I did at one time try to be a hugger. It was very uncomfortable for me, and it lasted maybe a month. I'm like, no. Because I hugged like the one sister. I told you there's one of my sisters that just snuggles and loves and hugs her kids and the babies, and she's kissing them all the time, baby slobber and puke and whatnot. And my other sister, who's older than her, is like me. Because when I was trying to hug people and I hugged her, she's like, "What is this? What are we doing?" I said, "I don't know. I'm trying to be a hugger." It didn't last. I think it was at the beginning of my mental health journey, and I thought it would be a good thing for me to try, because I didn't know if I was deficient in something. So, my parents weren't huggers either until later in life. My mom and I hugged. Yeah. Yeah, sometimes you're closer with one parent. I mean, I totally get all that. They think I'm an alien or something. I'm like, we don't. That's just not what we do. And then the non-hugging sister, when her daughter passed away, I absolutely hugged her, you know, and tried to be a comfort to her as well. And her daughter died by accidental overdose. So um, I think they listed it as suicide. I'm not sure. But anyway, we wanted to talk about suicide before, and just Jen, you reminded me of that as well. Jen, I'm the same way now, Brandy says. I do hug and kiss my kids. See, I think that's the difference. Like when we had our granddaughter, I loved that girl so much, held her, kissed her, hugged her, but I still was not a snotty nose. I changed diapers, but I was wiping her nose all the time. I don't want a baby that's got snot running down it to try to kiss me. My sister's just all, I'm like, ugh. So that could be where I fall into the autism spectrum, a little bit, that I don't have a normal attachment, you know. Um, but I mean, I'm fine. I don't miss anything. And I don't and if my sisters or my brother are real sad, I will hug them if they want a hug, but I'm going to ask first. I don't usually go in and not ask. It's very unusual, unless somebody's just crying and can't speak. I hug my kids all the time. We live 2.5 miles apart now, so I hug them every time I see them. And I totally understand that. I think it's different when it's your kids, but my mom and dad were not like that. And I think it was just the time. It wasn't them, it was the time we were raised in. They weren't raised like that. And so they didn't raise us like that. I'm sure they did when we were babies. Everybody kisses and hugs a baby. I have no recollection of that. But once I was old enough to know, I was the shy kid. I didn't want to hug anybody. Our kiddos was a totally different thing. If they wanted affection, they got it. Right, Jen? Yeah, yeah. 2.5 hours away, not mine. Okay. I'm not into snotty nosed children kisses, though. Thank you, Joe. I feel better. Yes, wash face and hands, then you can hug me. Okay, so it's not just me. I mean, my sister just she's got 4 kids. She's been like that with all her kids, and now she's got grandbabies. Adorable. But I need a tissue. I don't want this baby on me with a snot running down its nose. Not to mention kids get sick a lot quicker than we do. Like when they're around like they're in daycare and stuff. And I don't need all that sickness coming all up in here. So yeah, wash face and hands and then hug me. Mm-mm. Yeah, the babies. I've been like since when I was younger. I just was, and I was the oldest, so I was there when my sisters, both my middle sisters, were babies. When my brother was a baby, I would hold them and stuff, but no snotty kisses, and I didn't change dirty diapers then. When Linnea came, I helped change, because we would watch her for the weekend for Julie, and so we would change diapers. You can't watch a baby and not change diapers. But now with her grandkids, if they go stinky, stinky, I just go, here you go, sister. Here you go. Because she just loves it. I don't understand. She just has that nurturing gene I didn't get, and she just loves it. Even if they're not her kids, she's all over them. So, yeah. So there is that. I adore kids unless they are running around the store sick and their parents don't pay attention. Oh, yeah. Or if they're screaming. Mm. Oh, I think my husband's home. So there is that. So I think I'm a little bit weird that way. But that was how I was basically raised, not real huggy, not real affectionate, not even with words. But now I will say words all day, you know, to people that they deserve. I don't just run up to people I don't know and say I love you. No. Mm-mm. Nope. So that's part of my personality. Hello. Okay. Huh? I'm on the live. Can you guys give me just a second? I'll be right back. I don't normally like to do this, but I will do this for you. I'm coming. What am I coming for? Oh, did somebody have kittens over there? I'll call when I get off the live. No, there's a lady that lives there. I don't know. Okay, guys, sorry. We saw some kittens, so we're gonna need to call the kitten rescue. Sorry about that. I hope I didn't lose anybody. Yeah, people just leave cats here and they end up making babies all over. And it looks like we got 3. So that's how I got my kitten. And we have 3 total, so we won't be getting another kitten, especially after this crazy one. Because my two first ones were so good. So I'm like, sure, we'll get another kitten. We were going to get a dog. Excuse me. And we found him. He was all by himself. I've told you guys this story before. And we just became I started taking care of him to have him adopted out. And eventually we just decided to keep him. So, okay. So, any other childhood questions or anything else you guys want to talk about in this realm? You can always put it in the chat and we'll cover it. So then in my so drinking was just common. It was always there. So I'm sure through my life I just we would drink celebrations, parties, just like normal. And then I started to we're going to talk about ACA journey, not my mental health journey. So I was in a very stressful job. I was in my late 40s. Yeah. It's like that where we are. There are 5 cats that have decided our shed is a utility trailer, is their home. I have a cat hanging out on the patio. She wants to come in so bad. I feed her, but she can't come in. I made her a little cozy bed. And that's great, Sylvia. So she probably, we brought him in, but I still think he's still very feral, my kitten. He doesn't like to be picked up and stuff like that. But if you're taking care of her and you have a little house for her outside for the winter, that's what my best friend does. She has a cat in the house, but her neighborhood is full of cats. So any cats that come around, she'll feed them, and then she's got little cat houses On her porch, she's got 3 or 4 of them, and so she'll, take care of the houses so they can come and sleep if they need a place. But most of them have homes, and they're just coming to get food. Drugs and drinking have always been huge in my family. Mine as well. Now, we didn't know a lot about the drugs when we were young, but everybody, you could see everybody with a beer in their hand. Um, yeah, and mixed drinks when they would have a party. Because we even actually, in one of the houses we grew up in, they had a big bar. We had an upstairs over the garage, huge bar up there. And they used to have parties. They had a bar, they had parties. My brother was the only one involved in drugs and alcohol. He's clean now, though. Oh, that's good, Joe. That's good. I have a cat in the house, Milo. He will hang out with her. Well, that's sweet. Usually the inside and the outside cats don't get along, but that's nice. Yeah. Yeah. So, yep, we'll be. I don't know if they'll just come get them or if I'll have to raise them. But I don't have any foster cats right now, so I'll contact them. It is the season. It is the season. Jenny, it may sound harsh, but I refuse to feed them because there are so many, and no one in our county or city will do anything for or with them. And that's fine. I think it's a choice. If you don't, um, if the county is not going to help you curb the population by spay and neuter, and you don't want them in your yard or you don't want them around your house, which is lots of people don't, and I don't judge them for that. Um, so it's your right to not feed them. You're not required to. And that they'll go to the houses where the food is. Is that correct, Jen? They don't still bug you about food since you don't feed them. Hey, Melanie, how are you doing? Welcome, welcome. We're talking about cats and my childhood. And just let me know what you're doing. Um, Yeah, Jen and I, that's why at my old house, I started taking them to the Humane Society because they have feral programs in Monroe and they'll fix them and then just trap, neuter, return. And so we did that for 2 or 3 years and the population got way better. It's the number of cats went down because, every year you're going to lose some from outdoor. Um, oh no, they stay here. Really? Yeah, you said your shed. Huh. Melanie says, "I'm okay. How are you?" I'm doing all right. I've been helping my sister move, and so I'm a little sore today. And we all kind of got all different conditions. And the park we live in has lots of mice too, so they can keep the population down. And that's also another reason not to feed them, because if you if you feed them and they get fat, they're not going to chase mice. So. Um, so I totally get that, Jen. They're keeping the population down. Yeah. Yeah. I'm packing, getting ready to move in July myself. All righty. Have you been planning for a move, Melanie? I don't remember. I think it's been a little while since you've been here. Our Humane Society refuses to take the cats statewide. Well, now ours gets full. That's why we have cat rescue. The rescue I work with doesn't take any dogs, it's all cats. So, but they're big on trap, neuter, return. They don't want a bunch of kittens. They do have kittens and they adopt them out. But, yeah. Um, but I tried to go to the Humane Society. They were full and they recommended this cat rescue. And so I've been with them probably, I don't know, a lot of years now. Probably maybe 2015 or earlier. So, yeah. And that's crazy for a Humane Society. They may be full, but we have a couple cat rescues in Monroe, and I work with the one. They're having a flower sale tomorrow, so I'm going to go to that and get some flowers and donate some money. So, but yeah, just lots of stuff. How is the packing going, Melanie, for the move? All of the cat rescues get so overwhelmed that they went out of business. The cats in our states have zero help. I wonder why there isn't just a neuter, a clinic where they can just all be neutered and then sent back out, because that will cut the population down. My leave is up in July. My roommate and I, my lease, are moving to a house with his cousin and her roommate. She's buying a house waiting for approval of the one she put an offer on. All right, Melanie, that sounds interesting. It's going to be an interesting time with 4 people in a house. And also it's I'm sure it's an economical thing as well. So, because right now I've heard it's hard to buy a house. So good luck to her. Because even if you have really good credit, I think the interest rates are kind of high now. Because ranch vets are greedy, so they don't deal with feral cats. Yeah. Yeah. I'm because I know that uh we have a Humane Ohio. We're in Michigan, but they go to Ohio, and that's like the vets don't. It's not a one vet. It's like they come and donate their time, and so it's a really low cost. I think for feral cats it's $30, and then for house cats it's 60. Because they get all the extra. I think they all get fleas and worms and stuff, but treated. But yeah. Packing is stressful. Going from an apartment to someone's house has to try to whittle down everything. That's true. So you're going to have a smaller space. Is that correct? Yeah. Yeah. We went from a small house and a big garage to a big house. Not real big, just 3 bedrooms. I really should have made an appointment today. I'm so sore, Joe says. Oh man. Yeah. Did you get that big storm too, Joe? We had it not last night, but the night before. So I'm sure that that's not helping at all. Yeah. Let's see. A few years ago, there was a traveling vet that would do feral spay neuters, but they stopped. Yeah. They either, yeah, retire, move somewhere, or they're not getting the help they need to do that because they can't coordinate it all. And so it's difficult. I'm very thankful for a lot of the resources I have in my county, my state, that a lot of other people don't get. Like Michelle, she lives just maybe an hour or two away, and there's a lot of stuff that we get in Monroe that she does not get. Yes, the storm was bad, yeah. So and we have several, at least I know of 2 dog rescues, plus the Humane Society, and then at least 2 cat rescues, plus the Humane Society. No, 2 cat rescues plus the one that I go to, the Friends of Companion Animals, and they have a barn cat program where if somebody needs barn cats for mice and whatnot, that they have them spayed and neutered, and they will. I don't know if they charge or what. I am worried for tomorrow with this infusion. Because tomorrow I have to have a full deal of contrast for a CT scan. Are you able? I mean, is that okay for you to do that? Melanie says, yes, ma'am, but what has to be, and his cousin is nice. Hopefully, we all get along. Don't know her roommate. She kind of sounds like she's using his cousin, but I don't know her or situation yet. Yeah. There are like 5 dog rescues here, but no cat rescues. I don't know, maybe the people that have the barns are like, if they keep making babies, I'll have cat, they don't realize that that's not. We did a barn program that was very successful. Yes, absolutely. You cut down the population because they can't reproduce, and then as they what's that called, attrition, as they die off, then there are more kittens from other places that can go there. um Sending positive thoughts, Jen. Yeah, I hope it goes well. I hope it goes well. Um, because I know what an infusion is, and then the CT. I don't know if you have to. Do you have to take something so they can um, read the CT, or you have to do a saline flush before and after? And I will be down for a few days after. Yep. Yep. We hope that you have a good appointment. Yeah. We hope that that goes well for you, Jen. So. Okay, so we have a few more people in here right now. We were talking earlier about when you were a kid, and now we have all kinds of other information and stuff. So, when you were a kid and now you're looking back, do you think that you may have been, because they didn't have the autism spectrum back then, do you think that when you were a kid that you may have been on the autism spectrum? I think I possibly was. I think I possibly am. I've never been tested. I just know that I am weird in many ways. Yes, I have to do the barium drink and the IV diet. Yeah. That's not going to, for contrast, yeah. Is that going to mess with the infusion? I'm sure the doctors know. I hope they know because I would, I mean, if anything happens, you feel like crap. And so that must be the IV diet and the barium drink take you down for a few days normally, anyways. Yeah. Yes, and it's super hard on my kidneys. Oh, man. I wonder that about people when I was growing up too. Yeah, you were ADHD, attention deficit hyperactive disorder. I would love to have known you back then, Joe. I think we all would have been great friends when we were little. But yeah, I wondered that about myself, and I do sometimes when I see some kids and how they're acting, and I'm like, when we were little they were just called bad kids. Now that there's more of an understanding of the autism spectrum, parents can parents can be proactive in helping their kids not to have what do they call it in little kids when they start to, not a tantrum, but when they get triggered or um overstimulated. Overstimulated, I think, is what happens. So now they have the headphones that they put on, or they just need the sensory deprivation. I do also wonder if some people are being diagnosed when they're really not. Now that's a good question too, Melanie. I was watching an old Sherry, and do you guys know that comedian? What's her name? Her husband is autistic. What is her name? Ugh, I love her. She's blonde. Um, she just was in she's a stand-up comedian. What movie was she in? Oh, she always does some funny kind of girl comedy. My parents were the shut up and get over it type. That I got that a lot too. And yeah, yeah. And so we did. We shut up and we got over it. Now, when you talk to your therapist now, you may have some other issues, but we did that as well. But we didn't act out. We did what we were told. When we were kids, we just had to suck it up. Yep. Melanie, same here. Yeah. So as far as the autism spectrum, the spectrum is so broad now. It's not just, like I said, I was a normal kid, just, well, not fully normal, but I mean, I didn't have um like where the kids get overstimulated and they have tantrums, or I spoke well and things like that. Gen X. Um and was it Chris Fisher, the comedian? No, it's a woman. Gosh, she always plays a goofy girl. I can't think of the movie. She wasn't in Bridesmaids. She was not in Bridesmaids, but she would be if they did another Bridesmaid. It seemed like she would be there. Hey, Jamie, how are you doing? What is her name? Let me look her up real quick. Um, let's see. I can't even remember. Comedian. I can't even remember what her name sounds like. I just saw her. There she is. Women in Comedy overview. Um, she's the first picture that popped up. Amy Schumer. Amy Schumer. Yeah, her husband has been diagnosed with AD, with being on the autism spectrum. How are you doing, Miss Jamie? Yep, Amy Schumer, Joe. I see that you put that in there. Yep, her, and she was talking about it. Um, and just this, she thinks she might be on the spectrum as well, just because it's so broad now. And so when we say, that they're over diagnosing people, I think just because you're diagnosed as autistic doesn't mean that you have behavioral issues or medical issues, because the one side of the spectrum is a very, very, we're just a little odd. Where the other end of the spectrum is nonverbal, non-communicative, all that. So I think it's just such a broad range now. And just because you're diagnosed with it doesn't mean it's a handicap. Because her husband, Amy Schumer, her husband, he has a job. He is fully functioning because they have a baby. Good. Today is my dad's birthday. Oh, Jamie, that's awesome. How old is he? So yeah, you can be fully functioning without any problems, and then it goes all the way to the other end, which is nonverbal, um, almost catatonic, non-communicative, because you can still communicate and not be verbal, but any and all in between there. So I'm sure there are some people who say they are that are not. And you get that with any disease, I will tell you. That's why there's so much stigma attached, because how many people say, "Oh, I'm depressed today," when they're not really clinically depressed, they're just maybe sad. Do you know what I mean? So, and I don't want to make it less important. I know that there are probably people, Melanie, who say that and are not technically. And I've never been diagnosed either. I'm just a little bit weird. He is 70. Jamie's dad is 72. Your dog Lily's birthday. How old is Lily? Can't believe he's 72, Jamie, and you're just 29. Wow. Right? I mean, we're in our early, late 20s, early 30s. So, happy birthday, Lily. And we had a puppy named Lily. Lily's cute. That's a cute name. Let's see. So we got the Amy Schumer question out of the way. Oops, let me go back to Facebook or YouTube. There we are. So yeah, happy birthday, Lily. We're having a good time today. Let's see, 2:30. We still have half an hour. So, I know he had me very late in life, LOL, right? Of course. It's a really tricky thing to diagnose autism. I think, like bipolar and other diagnoses, it should take time for proper diagnosis. Absolutely. Because you want your doctors to get it right. Because when you don't have a diagnosis and you don't know how to treat anything that you have going on, it's much harder. But it's true that you're not your diagnosis, but you need your diagnosis to get better, and to get the right medications and things like that. Um, so yeah, it should take time, and you want the right diagnosis, because if you don't, if you know someone who's bipolar and the doctor says they're just depressed, so they're on medicine that is for depression, their bipolar is still going to be bad. It's not going to help. So, don't forget to, oh, thank you, Jen. Lily is 15 or so. She's never told us. Melanie. Yeah. Well, that's pretty good. So she's a senior there. She's a senior puppy. She should be getting those senior discounts. I think puppies should get them too. Um, I know that I am getting, my senior discounts that I qualify for as I turned 55. So, yeah. Mm. PCOS is often misdiagnosed as bipolar. Really? Now I know I was diagnosed with PCOS, but when I finally had my hysterectomy many years later, I didn't have it. I had uterine fibroids. So yeah, I didn't know it was misdiagnosed as bipolar though, but I know it messes with your emotions and your hormones. And Melanie says she's an older lady. She must be quite graceful. She's an older lady. Feel free to pop pictures up in our in the group chat if you're in there. We'd love to see her. See her having her birthday. Yeah, PCOS is very difficult. Very difficult. No, she's a hot mess. That's funny. She's an older hot mess lady. I bet she's a lot of fun, Melanie. She sounds like she's a lot of fun. I'm crying. It's so funny. Can we add pictures? Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. There's no restrictions on it. And you can even add people if you want to. I didn't put any restrictions on anything. So many people think PCOS goes away with the hysterectomy, but it is caused in the pituitary gland, so it will lessen but never go away. Okay. Yeah, I didn't have polycystic ovarian syndrome. I didn't have any cysts on my ovaries when they removed my uterus. I just had really large uterine fibroids. So that's how I know, even though I was diagnosed with PCOS and I was put on metformin, that so I didn't know until I was 50. So I was diagnosed with it when I was in my 40s. When I had the hysterectomy, and she said no, there was no cysts on the ovaries. Oh, really? Well, maybe then I did have it, or I do have it. I still take metformin every day for diabetes, and I never had any kids, and that was I think I had 2 miscarriages, so we didn't have any kids. My granddaughter and my daughter are my husband's from before we knew each other. So, yeah, I didn't know that, Jen. Good info. Mm. But I definitely had large uterine fibroids, like grapefruit size, because I lost a good 20 pounds after the surgery, after they removed all that. They put you on metformin. I was on that for diabetes for a couple years. Yep, they put me on that for PCOS. So I was on that for several years. And then I was diagnosed with diabetes. Actually, when I was in rehab, we haven't gotten that far yet, but that was 2018 was when I was, so 18, 19, 20, 5, 6, 7 years ago. I would have been in my late 40s. So I'm 55, 49, 48 years. I was 48. I'm going to do a talk about it on Tuesday on PCOS. On your channel, Jen? Interesting. I didn't know it was used for that. Yeah, that's the doctor that I went to. She diagnosed me and she started me on metformin. And I've been on it for, like I said, I was diagnosed in 2018 with diabetes. So I've been on it since, let's see, when did I turn 50? 2020. So 2010 is when I had my tubes tied. That's when she diagnosed me with PCOS. And I had trouble with, like, back then you didn't have a lot of fertility treatments available, and also I never would have been able to afford that kind of stuff. So, that's what they did. They put you on that, and tried that way you would try to get pregnant. I still never did. So I think I may have had both then, the uterine fibroids and the PCOS, because I don't know how you get a tumor as big as a grapefruit. You don't get that overnight, right? That takes time. Let's see. Standard treatment, which is the incorrect treatment, is metformin, birth control, and spironolactone. So I was on birth control already. Oh, no, I had my tubes tied. So I was off birth control after the surgery. But before the surgery, I was on birth control. I started metformin after the surgery. And I don't know what spironolactone is. I'm going to try to tune in. Did you say that's going to be on your channel, Jen? I don't see how to add pictures, but I have a video on IG and TikTok for Lily. Okay. So the Instagram group chat, you're in the Instagram group chat? Let me know when you get there and I'll talk you through it. I have a series I am doing on my channel called Talk About It Tuesday, and it's focusing on women's health. Okay, so it is on your channel. So I will be checking that out. I'm not going to promise, because this thing with my sister, I'm helping her a lot. I'm the only, well, everybody's pitching in, but I am helping a lot more. So I'm not a partner, but I am trying to do a lot to help her ease her burden anyway. So I will be trying to check that out on Tuesdays. Yeah. So if you're in the group, or if you're just video chatting me, Melanie, you see down here, that's how you'll add the pictures. Okay. Let me go in here and add you. You're on Instagram, correct? Invite link. Copy. Okay, I'm going to put it on my notes. Paste. I don't know if I can, you know where I can put it? I can put it, I'm in the chat. Hello, Crystal. I'm right here in the chat. Here it is. Paste. Sent. That's the link to the chat, I think. Invite link, yeah. So I just invited everybody here. That's the link. And so hopefully you can just enter if you want to. The series of videos not live, so you can watch whenever you have time. Okay. My first cyst was 5 pounds and the size of a melon. I have one now that is forcing me to have a hysterectomy. That is the size of a softball grapefruit. And now I don't think there's any guys here, but if there are, I apologize in advance. I was having, and I can't remember the medical term, so the medical term sounds better, but severe bleeding. And that I went to the doctor to they have an ablation for anybody who has that, but the cysts were so large I didn't qualify for the ablation, so I did have to have the hysterectomy. So okay. So I'm hoping that this invite link will work for whoever uses it. Let's see, where's it at? There it is. You push on it. It says Instagram. Open Instagram. Didn't really do anything, I don't think. Okay. This is what the CT scan is for. Oh, that is what the CT scan is for. Okay. Okay. So they're going to check all that for you. And that is good. So Instagram, I'm going to go into the chat again. I'm going to go here. I'm going to add, let's see, people I'm going to add. You don't require approval to join, so anybody can add you. Require approval, add person. MUA. Melanie, I know I follow you. MELA. MELA. Is that your let's see. Is it MUA Melanie? LANIE. Go. So, is that you on the top? Makeup artist MUA Melanie. I think I have more than one cyst. They only saw one the first time, but they weren't looking for any with that scan, and now they want a better picture. Yeah. I don't remember how many there were. I just know there was a giant one. So I really don't remember, but I can't imagine. Do you think one cyst weighed 20 pounds? Well, plus the uterus. And it would another reason I didn't qualify for the ablation is because it was my uterus was large. So, but no babies up in there. Melanie, is that you saying yes? That's the one. You both follow. I follow you already, so I'm going to add you. So I think that is you. New comments. Okay. I sent a picture. Okay. Go on the Instagram group. Mm-hmm. Sorry, I'm back. They said the same thing to me, Crystal. Yeah, that's exactly what happened. Oh, I keep trying to drink that. That is not MUA/M on IG. Okay, I understand. Add MUA underscore, I should say. I know better. Underscore M. MUAM. Add. So I added you. So I've got you, Melanie, on there. So I don't know if you'll get a notification on Instagram that I added you or invited you. I don't know what. But I did add the MUAM. It's like a green picture. I don't have my glasses on, so I couldn't really tell if it was you in green. And diabetes is a symptom of PCOS. And I never knew that because it seemed like if she was going to diagnose me with that when I was in my 40s, my regular doctor was testing me for diabetes, and I think I was pre-diabetic, but she never said I was diabetic. And then when I went to the rehab, they said I was diabetic, but I hadn't been to the doctor in a little while there, because I was just drinking, which probably didn't help. Okay, Melanie. Okay. So yeah, very interesting. All right, 54. I'm not diabetic as of right now. That's great, Joe. That's great. My sister isn't either, and she is, we're all kind of big, but she doesn't have the big tummy. She's got the big booty, and she said her A1C is 5.1, and I'm like, are you serious right now? I wish mine was. PCOS causes extreme insulin resistance, which is type 2 diabetes. So I wonder why I wasn't diagnosed with diabetes earlier. I don't know. I don't know how they do the testing, but it would have probably been helpful if I was. I probably could have lost some weight, or I did start back on my Trulicity, thank goodness. It's the lightning in the picture. It's me and a hot guy with no shirt. I'll have to enlarge that photo next time I get on Instagram. Yeah. For sure. But yeah, feel free to post any pictures. You can just put out there, is anybody awake, or I'm not feeling well today, do you guys have any ideas of things that I could, you know what I mean? Anything you want to put in there, go ahead. It's all about Wellness Wednesday. No crazy trolls in there. And you can look at the list when you go to Instagram, you can look at the list of everybody who's in the chat, and you can always remove yourself if you want. And then if you remove yourself and you want back in, it's not a problem. No strict, like you can't come back for 30 days. None of that, because sometimes you just don't want to talk to anybody. And so you just want to remove yourself. And then eventually you may want to talk to somebody and you just say, Crystal, can you add me back? So growing up, we were very unemotional, very walk it off. Yeah. Yeah. I know in that time, that's just, how it seemed, how it was. That's what they knew to do. Jamie isn't going to talk about her A1C, LOL. Jamie. We aren't super chatty in there either, which is nice. Yes. Yeah, if somebody comes in there, they really are, they need some help. They need to talk to someone, or they just want to say hi, have a great day, stuff like that. It's not crazy busy. And no drama. Let's see. Oh yes. Get a good look at my Aussie boyfriend. Oh yeah. I sure will. Who doesn't love an Aussie guy? I mean, they're just adorable and usually real big. I like a big guy. My husband's a big guy. Jamie, you should tell us what your A1C is. If you're feeling up for it, Jamie, we can chat after too if you wanna. We got just a few more minutes. So that's my childhood, I guess. Today was all about my childhood. And then you know what I thought? I have some pictures of me as a baby and stuff. I think I might upload them and show them in a presentation next week so you guys can see what I look like. And I have a baby picture. This is how pervasive alcohol was in my family. I'm holding a beer bottle. I'm pretty sure it's empty, but my dad thought it was cute. Let's see. Oh, yes. Good to look. Yeah. Yeah, no worries. Yeah. It's stress-free. Last time they took it, it was 14. Oh, Miss Jamie. Miss Jamie. Have them increase your Trulicity, because that's what I'm going to end up doing. So, because I've been at 7 for a long time, and I thought 7 was good until I heard my sister's was like 5.1, I think I said. And I'm like, why is she leaving me at a 7 then? I think it should be better. I want to live longer. I don't want to, do you know what I mean? I want it to come down to 5. So my doctor, I've never said that to her, so she'll be interested in that when I go back to her and talk about it. There is a picture of me sitting at my grandpa's bar holding a mug of beer. Jen, yeah. I mean, that was, it was just funny, and it wasn't, we didn't call it alcoholism back then. It was just, that crazy uncle who drinks too much, or that crazy dad who drinks too much. You were 4. I can't remember. I was a baby. I don't know. I'll show you the picture and you guys can tell me. I might have been 1, maybe 2. They don't even have me on True. I thought you were on Trulicity. Did they take you off of it? If they don't, talk to your doctor about it. I used to go to the store and buy my grandpa's beer. I was like 11. Right, and cigarettes. Parents who smoked, we would walk down to the corner. There was always a little party store on the corner. You don't see a lot of those anymore either. Not in my town anyway. And you would get the cigarettes for your grandparents or your parents, whoever, and take them back. And you could get some penny candy while you were there. They would send you there so you could get some candy, and then you would get that for them as well. I can call you when I get home from my dad's. Oh, that's right. You're celebrating with him then. No worries, Jamie. If you want to, go ahead. I'll be home all day, but don't worry about it. My A1C is 5.9, but I take huge amounts of insulin on all the other meds. That's still great, Jen. That's still great. Um, I never had my Trulicity raised. Um, no, a friend sent Trulicity, Doctor. No. Oh, okay. Never put you on it. Okay. I would take a note and get smokes from my parents. Yeah. Back then, it was what it was. Um, yeah, talk to the doctor about it. It'll help you get your A1C down. I guess if you're on insulin, do you not, Jen, you don't do insulin and like a GLP-1. You can't do that together. So you probably don't qualify, Jamie, if you're on insulin. Jen would know more about that. Because I'm not on insulin. I'm hoping that the Trulicity will keep me from having to do that. But she needs to increase my, after I'm on it for a few months, she'll increase my, oh, you take Manjaro too. Okay, so then it is okay to take it with. Okay. Yeah. So I'm going to tell her that I'm not happy with it being a 7, that I'd like to get it down to a 5, you know. And I literally have to take everything, right, Jen? I have all the pills and then I have the shot. She had me on something called, it had a P. It started with a P. I gained a good 30 pounds on that. So now with the Trulicity, since I finally got approved through my insurance, I'm trying to lose some weight. It helps me lose weight. I literally, insulin made me gain 60 pounds. I'm on insulin, Novolog, and metformin. Not sure what Novolog is. But I know that prescription I had definitely caused me to gain weight. I wanted to eat everything. I'm like, how does a diabetes medicine make you want to eat everything? It didn't make any sense to me. But I took it for like a week and then I was just like everything, sweets in my mouth, everything I could get a hold of. Bread. I can't tell you how many biscuits I actually made and ate. So I'm going to go to Walmart real quick. So we're going to wrap it up here pretty soon. So all we've really covered today is my childhood. Are you eating what you're not supposed to? Still drinking soda? Melanie's asking Jamie. Miss Jamie is, are you still drinking soda? I'm not going to answer that because I am not Jamie. I got to go taking my dad and his wife to dinner. All right. Have a good time, Jamie. And also she gets out of telling us if she, about her A1C. Humalog is fast-acting insulin. Okay. So Novolog is along the lines of that. Triphase ID. Prescriptions are ready. I want to see refills. It's called pioglitazone. Pioglitazone, and I stopped taking that when I started the Trulicity because it put a good 30. Yes, ma'am, I am. Have a good time, Jamie. Okay. Okay, that's the same. Okay. All diabetes. Oh, Jen, I am going to ask for that when I go back. That because it says Medicare will cover it, and I do want to get that the Dexcom, and that way I'll have it on my phone. And yeah. Have a good night, Jamie. Okay, gotta go before y'all tell it me. Have a great night, Jamie. Tell your dad I said happy birthday. Did I meet your dad? I don't think so. I don't think so. I'm pretty sure I knew it was yell at me. But yeah, so pigletizone, and then she also had me on another one. That's the one that I gained a bunch of weight on. Um Glipizide. That one, I was on glipizide for something and it wasn't working for me. So that's when she switched me to that other one. I've had one for about 3 years now and it has changed everything. Plus Hubs can see my sugars in his phone. That's nice. So you got some help there with your numbers. I don't think he was at Jaren's wedding reception yet. I don't remember, Jamie. I don't remember reception. Yeah, I don't remember seeing him. So I remember just seeing her mom and dad. I don't think your mom and dad were there. Glipizide acts like insulin. The P-Med is a generic Actos. So the glipizide didn't seem to do anything for me because my numbers were still high. So she switched me to that P medicine and it made me want to eat everything in the house. Everything. I was just always hungry, always eating. And when you're hungry and you don't feel like cooking, what do? You get snacks, and the snacks are not good for you. So I do have a thing of protein bars and I try to just stick to one of those a day. I mean, you can't just depend on insulin and meds. You need to do your part, but we all know that. Yeah. Glipizide has to be taken at the right time. I think he was at the wedding, but not the reception. That is possible. I can't remember. I did follow directions, but it didn't work for me. And I don't remember if it was I think it was take it with a meal, right? Is that it? I think I took it with breakfast or my first meal of the day, whatever that was. And I took it long enough that she was like, it's not doing what we need it to do. And that was because at that time I could not afford Trulicity and my insurance did not cover Trulicity. So it was like $300-400 a month. And now it's at $47 a month. So it's still, considerable, but it's worth it. Yeah. Oh, mine was only once a day and it was 30 minutes before food in the morning. It was in the morning. She had me taking it. So it was just once a day. So it's a little after 3. So thank you guys for coming today. And I'm just talking about me. So next weekend we'll talk about me again, if you had fun. And like we're talking about other stuff too. It's not just me. But you can see where my childhood, where I'm heading to, how it was going. Yeah, everybody have a great day. And I will talk to you guys next week. Bye, everybody. Bye.